Every kingdom needs a hero, don't you think?
Adam and I had no desire to write damsels in distress.
We wanted to bring these iconic figures into the present.
These are women who stand in front of their men. They don't need saving, they can save themselves.
You're a girl.
Woman. Fairy tales are incredibly dated. The gender dynamic has definitely shifted, and women are no longer reliant upon men for rights and property and protection and survival in general.
Not the jewelry type.
Indeed, I noticed.
In some of the old fairy tales, they were a lot younger. They were more innocent, more delicate, timid, fearful. Once is not that. I mean, we have our moments when we're afraid, but we really confront all these things.
For Jennifer Goodwin, who we wrote the part for, you know, what we loved is she had that Snow White spirit. But when the queen came in and she grabs that sword, you believe she's gonna wield it. You believe she's gonna stab her.
She's not a queen anymore.
We just knew that our Snow White had to be a woman who wouldn't stand behind her prince.
Step away from my husband.
A lot of, I think, her strength comes from the love she has for her family, for Charming, for Emma, for Henry. That's what gives her the thing she needs to be strong, is having something to fight for.
If you ever try to hurt anyone in my kingdom again, I will kill you.
One of my favorite, hero moments in kind of the very classic sense is Snow White in the flashback story of Bandit Snow White.
My favorite scenes generally involve Snow White kicking ass. I took archery as a child at summer camp, and I loved it, but it's extremely difficult. Bow and arrow is a fantastic weapon of choice for a female hero who doesn't have magical strength. Mary Margaret's gonna need to be able to strike at a distance, so she's not physically overpowered. Bow and arrow is perfect for that. And there's something about that. That's a hero's move.
When was the last time you shot an arrow? 28 years ago. Guess it's like riding a bike.
We love the idea of flipping the roles this season and having Charming go into the sleeping curse and having Snow have to come wake him up with a kiss. But the way we wanted to do it was not to make either of them weak. It's a brave and selfless decision Charming makes to believe that Snow will come and save him.
You did it.
Did you ever doubt I would?
No.
He definitely wants a strong woman, a woman that has her own mind, a woman that makes decisions and stands up for herself and who can lead. He wants someone that can be at his side as an equal.
If you think this is the right thing to do, then it's what we shall do.
I think Once Upon a Time is unique in that it has a fair balance of masculine and feminine energy in all of the characters. The men are not afraid to be sensitive. The women are not afraid to be strong.
Thanks!
The women on this show are definitely badasses, Emma Swan being one. She has a physical strength that the other women don't have on the show.
I was just thinking today, I haven't kicked down a door in a while.
It's kind of funny because Emma, of course, she is the daughter of a princess and a prince, but she's not a princess at all.
I lived here.
She's more of a tough, strong woman.
Emma doesn't know she's rough. She's never been treated delicately. She's never had anything handed to her without her working really hard for it or doing something to survive for it.
You're not gonna guide us anywhere until you tell us who you really are.
She's got an extra level of awareness that maybe everybody else in the show doesn't have.
You can trust me.
You know, they kind of joke that it's her superpower that she knows when people are lying, but it's, in my mind, it's just having an instinct about a circumstance, knowing when something's off.
Action.
I'm sorry, Neil. You should be.
there's a big fight scene between Emma and Tamara.
There's that gun. If I can get
It's great for us to get into a place here where we have these two women fighting, and it's an all-out brawl.
Watching her tango with Tamara like she's in a UFC cage is pretty impressive.
I get to sort of handle physicality in a totally just sort of raw way, not in a completely refined way. So it leaves some room for being creative physically.
It's over. It's not.
Atta girl. Now do a pull-up.
Emma has this very grounded, real-world strength. Regina has this great magical vengeance power of, like, I am justified in what I'm doing. She doesn't ever say she's heroic, but she sure says she's justified.
I think what makes a hero is kind of the same thing that makes a villain. She's resourceful.
You know, all heroes have flaws, and nobody has more flaws than Regina.
I used magic.
She seems to have an addiction to magic. It's a weakness that gives her strength.
She's not so physically strong. I don't think she ever really had to use her hands to fight. Well, apart from fireballs. And I think it's because she was a princess before she became a queen. And a lot of her strength comes with magic.
You're lucky I've changed.
The hardest thing for Regina is to have patience. And every time she runs out of patience, she does the wrong thing, and it always, always comes back to haunt her.
Kill me. What? Henry would never forgive me. Regina is pretty much honest with herself about what her strengths and weaknesses are. And one of her biggest weaknesses is that she kind of relapses, I could say, often. But you know what my problem is? I never learn from my mistakes.
We've said love is a weakness, love is a strength on our show at different times for different people. I think magic is exactly the same way. It can be your weakness if you're addicted to it, if it's a crutch you lean on, or it can be the thing that allows you to do a heroic action. It's all in how you use it.
I've really been trying.
It's okay. At least you're using it to help people now.
Strength can come in many different forms. For some people, it's physical, and for other people, it's intellectual, it's mental.
Belle is another character who, like Regina, doesn't immediately grab for the sword.
I do love books.
Who's gonna join us?
We got to see Belle move beyond being just this girl who's a dreamer and is always thinking about adventure and heroics, and actually get to see her step into the shoes of the adventurer.
Now go be a hero.
With Belle, she really got to be pretty badass and kill a, wait, can I say it? I can't think of the word. Yawaguai. That took a while. But yeah, that was a fun episode, showing a different side to her.
Loved the idea of putting her in a situation where ultimately her intellect wins out and proves stronger than any sword.
It's really fun playing a princess that defies the princess stereotype. She has that element of being really brainy and maybe figuring things out in a different way.
No one understood what I really was, except you.
Well, you're not the first beast I've faced.
There's a lot of strong chicks in this show. Belle is certainly the counterpoint to Gold, there's no doubt about that.
You don't need power, Rumpel. You need courage to let me in.
If there's any possibility at all of Rumpel / Gold changing, it'll come through this character. She brings out the better side of him, and she's the only one that can do that. She is his strength, in effect.
I'm coming back, Rumpel.
Seeing Mulan's story as a woman who could, buck the traditional roles. Belle was able to get a lot of strength to do the same thing.
You're up. Oh!
Yeah, I know. I've had the privilege to play a lot of strong women, but, no one as iconic as Mulan.
We fought many battles together.
When you try to break the mold, you have to be a lot tougher. And that's what I think you see with Mulan. There's an honesty to her, and there's a code of honor to her. And as she said, only fight something you truly believe in.
All right, lock it up. Good sound.
Ready, and action.
Working with Jamie Chung as Mulan is a pleasure. She has good body awareness. So we've done a few fights. Jamie is very eager to get in there and gung-ho to play.
It's been really fun. Who else gets to dress up like this and it's not Halloween? There's just so many layers to this costume, and it's pretty heavy. If it's not a satchel, it's a bow and arrow. If it's not 2 swords, it's something else. However can I thank you? You saved my life.
Pairing Mulan and Belle was it's not the first thing you think of. And the two of them end up sharing each other's skills and learning from each other.
There was once a time when people didn't think that I had what it took either, but I proved them wrong.
To us, what's more fun than mashing up these great classic characters?
In this sort of tribe of women, there's definitely a sense of female power joined together.
We'll help you. We'll find a way, won't we?
To see Snow and Emma, what an interesting thing to be the same age, basically, as your adult child, and to be able to team up like that. They'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Emma, run!
There's an interesting balance where you get to see these partnerships where they really are equally yoked, where they're going to challenge each other and they're going to inspire each other and they're going to lift each other up when they're down.
You're right here.
Some of the most satisfying episodes are the episodes where Emma and Regina, sort of making strange bedfellows, have to team up to try to stop something. And it's only by, working with your enemy or finding common ground with someone that you're able to kind of do something more than what you would have been able to do yourself.
You have more power as a collective than you do as an individual, especially if you're working together for a common good.
All our women are strong in different ways that, they all fit together. So that they aren't all just duplicating, like, oh, strong women, strong women. They are all strong in different ways.